woman. Kevin literally sat there and said, "Do you want to touch on the Ray Rice case?" Maybe someone else will get why that's funny and why we still look orange. So
anyway,
we're gonna fly this one by the seat of our pants.
UFC 170 is fucking over.
In the books, and that was beautiful. That's how a UFC event should roll.
They should, and the reason it's beautiful because you know what? Only one fight with the distance, which motherfuckers were fighting it.
Oh, don't worry, but Rory MacDonald looks super aggressive. We'll get to that later.
Anyway, the first fight was a welterweight fight between Stephen Thompson and Robert Whitaker.
That shit was over in the first.
George and I were very much unaware of who either one of these individuals were, but I tell you what, your boy Thompson,
he looked crisp.
He looked good. He looked good. He got it done with the TKO.
Put it this way, this could land him another job.
It could.
On another card. He looked good. But that led us to the Mike Pyle TJ Waldburger fight.
Yeah.
And Pyle in that mullet just wouldn't let up and stayed on top of TJ.
The mullet has made him very popular. And I'm going to tell you what, he was the favorite coming into this fight, and he put it on Waldburger. To me, he just pretty much handled him from beginning to end. I mean, Waldburger had some moments where he was kind of shining, but Pyle is looking good, and he's moving up in that class. And like he said, he's like, yeah, I'd like to get up, not just be in the top 15, but be in the top 10. And he's starting to make a case for it because he's getting the job done, at least in his last 3 fights. Now, this is where shit got interesting, everybody, because it was a welterweight fight between everybody's favorite, Rory MacDonald. Isn't he your favorite?
Well, and then look, if you watch...
Just answer the question, man.
Look, if you watch our last show, we said this will be interesting to see if McDonald comes out.
Why didn't you answer my question, man?
We'll see if McDonald comes out and if he's aggressive. Because then is it TriStar or was it the Mexico crew?
Death Star?
No, TriStar.
Knock him out.
When's the last time that guy finished a fight?
Who, Rory MacDonald?
Yeah, and don't... And
it's been a good minute.
And seriously, don't bring up the BJ Penn fight.
Yeah.
He's huge compared to BJ Penn. That was like somebody's big brother fighting somebody's little brother.
Yeah.
Before, I mean, everyone was raving about how this guy's a killer and natural da-da-da, and he's...
Rory MacDonald in his last 2 fights prior to this, I mean, he had been struggling. He just didn't look like himself, you know? And in the first round of this fight, he didn't look like himself. But somewhere between the end of the first round and the end of this fight...
back, and that last 20 to 40 seconds when he got up, it was like, all right.
Now, I'm going to tell you what. Demian Maia might be the easiest person to hit in the world. He might as well just have a fucking... thing that says Everlast on the front of him because he's a punching.
He might as well wear a neck brace to the ring because his head did not move.
He doesn't move.
The only time it moves is straight back when he gets snapped.
The problem is, and what they were saying during the course of this fight is like Demian Maia's offense looks better on his, his game standing up. The problem is his defense has not gotten any better. I mean, he's putting together punches. He was tagging Rory MacDonald. They looked good. But the problem is he kept coming forward. He has no type of lateral movement, no type of head movement. And literally, Rory MacDonald was pop, pop. He was just throwing those stiff jabs out there. In the second round, he landed so many jabs, and they were so accurate that it was the second most in welterweight history.
And that's in a 170 class that's at GSP.
Yes. And GSP, we all know, is accurate.
Right.
And the second most in accuracy. And he threw probably like 570 fucking jabs.
But my question is if you watch the aggressiveness of Rory MacDonald in this fight, and look, if you've watched the show more than once, you know I'm not a humongous fan of his.
You're not?
And he came out, and yes, he looked more aggressive, but I'm sorry, jab, jab, straight. Jab, straight. Straight jab.
You can't blame him,
jab,
George.
straight.
You can't. I mean, why? Why against this guy? Why not?
Why not try to finish the fight? That's all I'm asking.
Maybe he was worried that if he did something. I mean, this is what I'm thinking.
Was he going to get headbutted?
But I mean, now if he was fighting you, that would be a concern. But I'm just thinking he might have been thinking, if I do anything, if this is working, I'm keeping distance from him. He can't shoot in on me.
Even when he was shooting it, by the second round.
But you saw how he was stuffing him.
By the second round, his shots were done. By the second round, he looked like an old dude looking for a contact lens.
Yeah, it was
bad. I mean, he had more cardio, more stamina, more power, better accurate, better striker. Everything. He had Maia beat in every single category after the 4-minute mark of the first round. Yeah. So why not try to go in and finish the damn fight?
I don't know.
That's all I want to know.
I will give this to McDonald. He didn't There was points he was definitely trying to finish the fight.
Which point was that? When he walked out of the ring?
No, I mean towards the end of the third round. Over towards the end of the third round, he was trying to put him away.
With the jab or the straight? Because that's all he threw.
Straight.
Because he did not throw. The only time he threw an uppercut is when Demian Maia found his contact lens and decided to stand back up. I got it.
Yeah, he just. But I mean, I guess you got
good for him. I'm glad you won the fight. Were you aggressive?
He was aggressive.
More aggressive than in the past? Yes.
But this is what I'm getting
but not as aggressive when you finish fights.
He was aggressive. I mean,
for Rory MacDonald.
For Rory MacDonald, he was aggressive, and he was. I mean, you can't help to be aggressive against a man who doesn't move. I mean, he doesn't move. He's like, hit me, hit me,
do me a favor,
hit me.
If you were in a fight with a heavy bag, how long would the fight last?
Hit me. Hit me.
If you were in a fight with a heavy bag, how long would it last? Would you have let that fight go to 30 rounds?
That's the problem. It would last 3 rounds because the heavy bag wouldn't fall down. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you guys know what the fuck we're getting at. Good luck, Rory MacDonald. Who's he fighting next?
He's jaw-jacking about getting the belt. You got it. No.
Okay. This is my thing, and I said this to George.
Somebody else.
Rory MacDonald, to me, is always going to struggle with strikers that are aggressive. That will come
might have some movement?
Yeah. Like what happened with Carlos Condit, like what happened with Robbie Lawler. Big, lengthy guys that are going to keep coming at you and throwing punches because, to me, Carlos Condit got hit a lot by Demian Maia, who is not a sensational stand-up guy. You know, and he didn't put together any, wizardly combinations. Wizardly combinations, yes. Hit me, hit me, hit me.
Okay, maybe Kevin will. This is when Kevin really gets the perk up.
Daniel Cormier, other known as the Hamburger, is cut down to 205. He said he was going to fuck Patrick Cummings up for talking mad shit. He didn't like it, and he sure enough did what he said he was going to do. He shut him up. Because, I mean, Patrick Cummings, they were saying, I think they were trying to hype Patrick Cummings up, saying, oh, he's 4-0, he's undefeated. There's 40 guys that won't take fights with him. There's 40 guys, 40 fucking guys. Really?
I think all 40 of them go, I'll take that fight now.
Right. I think that, you know what, right now, those must have been 40 guys that the reason they weren't taking that fight is because, look, if you fight Patrick Cummings, we're going to give you $200. And they're like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. You know what I mean? Because I know if you were to fight Patrick Cummings and they were going to give these guys a decent payday or a decent amount of money, then they take the fight. That's just what I have to believe. But the UFC hype shit up. What do you think about Daniel Cormier?
Wait.
I did say that.
No, the UFC hyped things up?
You didn't know that?
Wait, no.
Yeah.
You mean something like the owner, or no, he's not even the owner.
That guy Dana. The
mouthpiece for the UFC, because he's not even the owner.
He does.
You think he hypes things up?
We still look red, man.
Yeah.
We look like we're holding our breath. We're not really holding our breath, but
you mean the same guy who sat there and said Ronda Rousey's the biggest star in the UFC's ever had? You think he might say something along the line that sponsors are the problem with the UFC? Yeah. That guy?
Mm-hmm. Do you think he might be saying that because he's mad because his real #1 star left the UFC?
Maybe. But it doesn't seem like he'd be the guy who would act like that. Wouldn't you expect somebody to be a little more professional? If you were the mouthpiece for a company, don't you think the people behind you who own it might rein you in a little bit?
No.
Anyway, DC looked great. I'm not going to knock him. I think, me personally, and I've said this from the jump, when he makes the cut to 205, he needs to fight at least one fight. If they want to give him the title fight next, John Jones has got to win. John Jones has got to beat Glover.
Yeah.
If he beats Glover. If he beats Glover, then fine. Then we can talk about DC. Until John Jones beats Glover, and a lot of people think he will, and a lot of people don't know. And I, for one, if he's going to lose a fight, I'd rather watch him lose to Glover than DC because I'm more of a Glover fan than I am a DC fan. And I'll be interested to see what John Jones comes out in that fight because to me, he's been getting awfully conservative with his fighting.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. DC looked crisp. He needs 1 or 2 more fights.
He needs 1 or 2 more fights.
But knowing the UFC, he won't have 1 or 2 more fights. He'll fight for the 205 belt next because of name power and his undefeated record.
And yeah, he's undefeated as a heavyweight. So I mean, he could obviously be getting a shot at the heavyweight title. Really, if you think about Daniel Cormier,
Kane.
Yeah, but if he was a heavy, he should fight. He won't fight Kane, but he should be fighting Kane. Yeah. So why not give him the fucking shot? I mean, the thing is and I've said it, and I'm going to say it again because I like when I'm right. Daniel Cormier has some good fucking hands, okay? And by the way, John Wall won the slam dunk contest. Have I said that too many times now? But I'm just going to say it. Hey, John Wall fucking won a slam dunk contest.
So DC is now 3-0 since coming to the UFC. He's bringing Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, and now Patrick Cummings.
Yeah. He just has good hands. And you know what? One thing he's incredible at, George, is that I noticed when Patrick Cummings shot in on him, he just grabbed him, controlled him, and he pushed him up against that cage. And he's good at that dirty boxing, man. Throwing those uppercuts, keeping you up, keeping you. He is just, he's good.
Sturdy.
Yeah. I tell you what, if he does fight John Jones, and John Jones lets him get in the inside.
He's got to use his length and stay away.
He's going to have to.
Dynamic striking. He's got to pull.
Dynamic striking.
He's gonna. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't use wizardly. It was already crossed off our list of words to shoehorn into this.
You know that shit is tight, son. Wizardly. Woo-hoo.
How many other?
Speaking of the Wizards, John Wall won a slam dunk contest. Did I say that earlier?
How many of y'all out there have a friend of the African American skin tone? I don't even know if that's a tone.
It's not really African American. It's actually red today.
Yeah. Anyway, how many of y'all have black friends that have used the word wizardly in a sentence? I got one.
This Negro right here.
One. It's the Black Gandalf.
That's right. The Black Gandalf. Let's move on to the headliner, which was thoroughly disappointing because
I think I have an idea how you could beat Ronda Rousey. In all seriousness, and I'm not joking.
Let it go get past the first and second round.
If you could do that. But I'm going to tell you, Ronda Rousey is a lot like a press defense in college basketball. And if you press the ball handler, in this case, if you press another fighter and make them feel uncomfortable, and Sara McMann looked as comfortable as she could be being uncomfortable. But my problem is when she threw her punches, she stayed right there. So after she threw those punches, Ronda reached out and grabbed her and held on and then out-muscled her. So I told Kevin, throw the two punches and move.
Yeah.
Throw the two punches and move.
Yeah.
Jab, roll, do something. You can't throw two punches and stand there because Ronda Rousey's like a bull in a china shop. She's going straight ahead.
The girl that might be her might be the girl that has just an incredible stand-up game.
A boxer who can sprawl.
You know what's funny? It might be somebody who's tall and linky. Like just this back.
Because no, she hasn't fought anyone her own height yet. No. Have you noticed that?
No.
She's taller and longer than every girl she's fought.
If Cyborg makes it to 135.
And I was just about to say something. Cyborg is on record, and now she's no longer tied to Tito Ortiz. And knowing the guy who's the mouthpiece for Dana.
How long was she tied to him? Was she tied to him like by a rope?
Just through a contract.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, so the mouthpiece for the UFC has gone on record and said,
Who's the mouthpiece?
The mouthpiece for the UFC has gone on record and said, I have beat Tito Ortiz up. I find that really hard to believe. I really do. But that's just me. I'm thinking this might be part of the only way that Cyborg could get into the UFC is by cutting ties with Tito Ortiz.
Could be.
Because I'm going to tell you what. The mouthpiece holds grudges like a 12-year-old girl who just got her first period.
Yeah.
He is just, it's ridiculous the way he holds on to shit.
Big-ass grudge.
He acts like a giant baby. But anyway, that's a different show. Anyway, now Ronda Rousey's phenomenal.
She is phenomenal. I say this. A lot of people are going to say the stoppage was a little quick with Sara McMann. I thought it was a little quick, but the fact still remains, as much as I wanted to see Sara McMann win this fight, she's a hometown girl. Ronda Rousey, like you said, she just presses the fuck. She swarms your ass, and she doesn't stop. She's relentless. And you know what? She did catch Sara McMann with that kidney shot, and it put her down. Liver, and it put her down, you know, and like she said, she couldn't get up fast enough, and she had her hand down like this. She couldn't protect her with that same hand that she was holding herself up with, so she might have been better off just kind of going like this.
So if she turtles,
but she would have she wouldn't have been able to get. She was trying to work her way up. So I thought Herb should give him more time.
And the thing that kills me, earlier in the night, Herb let the dude almost die. He almost let Waldburger. I mean, Waldburger was eyes rolled. I mean, was it the Waldburger fight or was it Whitaker?
He's like, man, I've been doing this shit long enough. Man,
was the Whitaker fight or the Waldburger fight?
What? Who almost got killed?
Yeah, I thought it was Waldburger, isn't it? Anyway, Herb had a late stoppage according to Rogan. Early stoppage late, so I guess they balance it out and just wash out.
Yeah, maybe that's what he said. He's like, look, man, I'm just going to do a makeup call.
So all in all, 170 was good. It's not 2 a.m. It's only 12:30.
We're happy about it.
Now, for all you diehard UFC fans who signed up and got your UFC Fight Pass, raise your hand. For the 6 of you who did, you get to, on March 1st, see a fight in Macau.
Macau! That's like sounds like something
Shorty,
a pro would say.
that's going to be at 8 a.m. on the internet on a Saturday.
No, I'm not having that. That's why I don't have the UFC fight.
I'm really not sure. I'm not waking up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday after the week that I'm about to have. And watch this. The dong's coming hard.
I like the dong. That did not come out right. Wow! I'm gonna tell you right now. That was kind of wizardly of me.
Here's what I need.
The dong, the fighter.
I need somebody to capture that sound clip and email it to me so I can turn that into his ringtone.
Crazy motherfuckers.
That's what I need. Somebody please help me.
You know what the funny thing is, everybody? He doesn't need any of you guys to capture sound clip because George will do it himself. You know what I'm saying? What was the last sound clip? Oh, me stuttering.
Yeah.
I was like, what was I doing? I was like, it was great. It was great. It was a funny ass fucking.
Anyway, you're gonna get Don Kim, and you're gonna get a Matt Mitrione.
The Don comes hard
versus Jordan, and then you're gonna get a lot of local guys.
Matt Mitrione's fighting Sean Jordan.
It appears that Sean Jordan. Sean Jordan is going to destroy Matt.
Anyway,
Mitrione.
that will be at the next event.
On March 1st. And then after that, a week later, then we get UFC 171. And that is for the 170 title. Yeah. That's going to be...
That's going to be the bombs being thrown because Hendricks and Lawler are going to just say, fuck it, we're going
toe to toe.
Yep.
It's going to be nasty. Hold on real quick.
That might be tough for Johnny Hendricks, man, because Robbie Lawler's a big kid.
As long as it's going to be the first whoever's chin can hold out the longest.
Yeah.
I just want to see real quick who else is on this
But we
card.
forget how good of a wrestler Johnny Hendricks is, and Lawler's not as strong of a wrestler.
Yeah, but Johnny Hendricks doesn't want to take him down. He's too prideful.
I can't believe it, man. I love watching Rob. I've always liked that guy, and he has a chance to be the UFC champion at the welters.
Jake Shields, this could be your last fight in the UFC.
Who's he fighting?
Hector Lombard. And that's at 170. Wow. Son, there's no way Jake Shields can win that fight.
I mean, the first
Lombard's gonna be too damn strong.
He's so strong, and the fact is that Lombard, since he's been what?
The fight's in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't no one getting drug tested. No.
Like Eddie Murphy said, don't go to Texas. They'll fuck you up.
Anyway, more than likely, I'll be back down in town next weekend. And then Kevin and I will give you a preview. If not, we will do it sometime this week. But you're looking at Johnny Hendricks, Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit versus Tyron Woodley.
Some good stuff.
Diego Sanchez, Hector Lombard, OSP, and
we're done.
Bye.
Adios, dudes.